Sometimes I can get really irritable, anxious, sad, and by sad, I mean enraged. Now don't worry, Nickelback isn't releasing a new album. I'm talking about PMS. Now this topic may make some of you uncomfortable. After all, it's not everyone that's in contact with women on a daily basis. So for those of you streaming in cable from a log cabin, you may want to resume your taxidermy project. For the rest of us who happen to know a couple of females, today's sweet and salty PMS-inspired menu just may save your life. First up, sweet and sour pineapple pork. Then we're making Chicago mixed popcorn, an intriguing blend of caramel and cheese popcorn together. And finally for dessert, rich chocolate and tangy goat cheese brownies. Panos talks about tenderloin and how he fears his wife.
Are we talking pork or PMS?
The spice agent yaps about organic cheese powder and irritable male syndrome.
Organic cheese powder.
Hans will give us some tips on which foods help alleviate PMS symptoms.
Ladies, follow my advice that I'll be the only one dealing with food cravings, mood swings, tenderness.
I'm Nadia G, and this is Bitchin Kitchen. PMSCapades on Bitchin Kitchen. When I was a teenager, I thought that PMS was a myth, just an excuse for women to go crazy every month. But in my early 20s, I started becoming a nasty. Oh, and the PMS was getting worse too. Now these days, it's pure destruction. Now I don't know why PMS worsens with age. Maybe it's nature's way of beating you up for not spawning. Or maybe life experience has given us more to get angry about. It's a mystery, wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a tear-soaked tissue covered in cookie crumbs. Let's get cooking. Now we're gonna make some succulent sweet and sour pineapple pork. Now this is one of my all-time favorite dishes. It's got everything going for it. It's tangy, it's sweet, it's porkalicious. Now we're gonna start with the sauce. So to a bowl, add 3/4 of a cup of pineapple juice, 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, 1/4 cup of raw sugar, 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. You can also use regular vinegar, 1/4 cup of water, 3 tablespoons of tamari sauce, 1 Thai chili, nice and minced, pretty spicy so you can, and 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame oil. Mix it up. Nice. Here I got 2 tablespoons of canola oil that's been heating on medium-high heat. Fry a 2-inch piece of minced ginger, along with 3 minced garlic cloves. For about 30-40 seconds until they're nice and fragrant. Add our pineapple juice mixture and bring it to a boil. Now once it starts boiling, reduce the heat to medium-low and let it simmer until the sugar dissolves, about 1-2 minutes. Keep stirring. It smells fantastic already. The best part, you can get creative with it. Instead of using pineapple juice and pineapple chunks, why not use mango juice, pieces of mango, maybe some cherry juice and sour cherries. In another bowl, scape in 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of apple cider. You could also use pineapple juice. Whisk until it's well combined. This is basically a thickener for our sauce. Into the sauce it goes. Reduce the heat to low and cook for 2-3 minutes more until the sauce is nice and thick. Remove it from the heat and leave it alone for now. Now I got my period when... What are we supposed to talk about in PMSCapades then? When we get back, we're gonna finish up these sweet and savory PMS busters and spare your loved ones the agony of your hormonal wrath. I like this new writer. Very dramatic.
You wrote it.
Oh, I'm amazing. They're a bit obscene, these salt and pepper shakers, no? Welcome back to PMSCapades. Now, PMS is dominated by the hormone progesterone. This is the same hormone found in the 2nd trimester of pregnancy and a favorite supplement among steroid users. What a crowd, huh? Needless to say, progesterone causes mood swings, irritability, and for some, even creates a mini depression of sorts. As for the sweet and salty cravings when you're PMSing, well, fatty foods like chocolate or ice cream or chips release endorphins, alleviating your depression, at least while you're stuffing your face. So essentially, you're self-medicating with cookie dough. But one health site I visited recommended curbing these fatty cravings with a turkey sandwich, a nice piece of grilled chicken. Good luck with that. Our sweet and sour pineapple sauce is done. It's time for the pork. Here I have 1 pound of organic pork tenderloin that's been cubed. I'm gonna season it with a big pinch of sea salt and freshly cracked pepper. Toss it up a little bit. And here's Panos with more on tenderloin.
Hey! The pork tenderloin is also called the pork fillet. This is the most tenderest part of the animal because these muscles are used for posture instead of moving around. The first thing you want to do with tenderloin is remove the silver membrane on the surface. And that's about it. Just be careful not to overcook this lean cut of meat because it can dry out easy. As for PMS, bro, being married for all these years, I've become a pro at dealing with it. Number 1, know when it's coming. Set a calendar. This way, when she starts yelling, "You never booked those salsa classes. You're a slob who stole her youth, and she doesn't have to put up with your cross-dressing anymore." You know that it's not just because she hates you, but also because she's PMSing. Knowledge is power, bro. Number 2, now that you know when she's PMSing, make Nadia G's bacon chocolate, huh? And give it to her in a fancy box, bro. Every month, switch it up. Chocolate-covered pretzels, chocolate-covered peanut butter balls, chocolate-covered diazepam. I can guarantee that she'll be nicer for about 20 minutes.
Thanks, Panos. In a wok, I got 1 tablespoon of canola oil heated on high. We're gonna add our pork and cook this for about 2-3 minutes, constantly stirring until it's a nice golden brown. Remove the pork from the heat. Add another tablespoon of canola oil. Throw in 1 sliced red pepper, 1 sliced yellow onion. Stir it up and saute for about 2 minutes. Like a professional, huh? Looking good. We're gonna reduce the heat to medium-high and add our sauce. Throw in 2 cups of fresh pineapple, cubed. Toss in the pork and cook for 1 minute more. Let's plate this dish. Here I got a cup of steamed jasmine rice. Gonna top it off with our sweet and sour pork. Garnish with a few basil leaves. Let's eat. I love this. The pork is so tender. The sweet, fresh pineapple and this tangy, sour sauce. Wow, I'm telling you, you get all that Chinese takeout satisfaction at half the cost and 6 times the effort. For our next dish, we're gonna make Chicago mixed popcorn. Now, for those of you who haven't heard of it, it's salty cheddar popcorn mixed with sweet caramel popcorn. Let's just say that if there was a battle between bacon chocolate and Chicago mix for the crown of sweet and salty, I don't know who would win. Literally, because I wouldn't watch this battle because I have a love life. Okay? Onwards. Get your hands on 8-9 cups of natural, unsalted, unbuttered popcorn. I got 4 cups here and 4 cups over there. You can pop them in the microwave, on the stovetop, however you like. Now we're gonna make our caramel sauce. Heat a pan on medium-high and add half a cup of butter. Just whack it in there. 1 cup of brown sugar. 1/4 cup of corn syrup, and a teaspoon of sea salt. Whisk to blend. Now bring it to a boil and let it cook without stirring for 3 minutes until it's nice and thick. Remove it from the heat. And now add half a teaspoon of baking soda. Swish it around a little bit. See how that puffs up? While it's still nice and airy, pour it quickly onto the popcorn. And toss it like a salad, fast. The stuff hardens quickly. Transfer it onto a baking sheet. And then use the spatula to create a single layer and pop it into a 225-degree oven for 30 minutes, stirring it every 10 minutes. Awesome. Now let it cool down for a couple of minutes. This way you can separate the kernels gently by hand and then let it cool completely. Ladies, go get your boyfriend because after a quick break, it's gonna be time for Nadia G's list of PMS don'ts for men. Stay hungry. And we're back with PMSCapades, where we're cooking up sweet and savory treats for angry girls everywhere who own a TV. Now, before we finish our Chicago mix popcorn, ladies, go grab your boyfriend and bring him into the room because it's time for Nadia G's list of PMS don'ts for men. Don't be messy. Now, a crusty plate usually means you're a bit lazy, but this time it means you're an inconsiderate, immature twit that's taking us for granted and maybe we should break up. You know why? Because you're going nowhere in life. Don't fight back. You'll never win when we're in this state. And we might set your favorite scraggly underwear on fire. But what do you mean I look cute? Cute like your ex on Facebook who likes every post that you put up? That concentration face you make, like what's the problem? You can't think without scrunch. So what? Okay? It doesn't matter. I don't know why you can't just like wipe down the beard trimmings off. Definitely don't wear those nasty track pants. Seriously, you disgust me. Our caramel popcorn smells so good. Now we're gonna finish our cheddar popcorn. To 4 cups of natural popcorn, you're gonna add 3 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter, a 1/4 cup of organic cheese powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of chipotle powder. This is gonna give it a smoky, spicy kick. Mix it all up. While I do that, here's the spice agent with his organic cheese powder report.
Thank you, Nadia. Today I'm talking about organic cheese powder. And for those of you who don't know what that is, well, join the club. But after Sherlock Holming the subject, or as I like to call it, earning a paycheck, I found out a few interesting facts about organic cheese powder. Did you know it's used to flavor popcorn? You can make cheesy bread with it, or you can add it in soups and pastas. It's found in many cheapy snacks. It's the stuff that makes finger orange. It's made by taking almost all the moisture out of regular cheese. Did you know that 3 pounds of cheese makes for like 2 pounds of powder? Producing a velvety, smooth, rich flavor. Some people, they like to make it themselves. Yecheskel? Not that guy. So from what I'm understanding, Nadia, today you're talking about PMS. Well, just so you know, PMS has been outlawed in Ranana. That's right, it's now illegal. After reported 31 stabbings, 4 shootings, 9 arson cases, 8 crimes of passion, 3 bankruptcies, and 2 cases of drinking milk straight out of the carton. And that's only in my apartment complex. As the old saying goes, if you're gonna suffer, suffer in silence. That's what we do. Did you ever hear about IMS? Irritable male syndrome? That's right, we get it too. And just as bad. Oh yeah, once a month, we go crazy. We get emotional, sentimental, controversial, conversational, and passive-aggressive. We need to be loved, talked to, cuddled, held. Maybe not by you, but we need to be held. I hate this outfit. It makes me look fat. And this color, it washes me out.
Thank you,
Yecheskel Mizrahi.
Mix them together. In goes the cheese popcorn. Ah! Oh, you've got the sweet caramel popcorn, and then it's contrasted with the salty, buttery, cheesy popcorn. Yeah! PMS or no PMS, this also makes an amazing food gift. Just get those like little vintage popcorn packages or whatever they're called. Next up, chocolate! And by chocolate, I mean chocolate goat cheese brownies. I can't wait for these. Heat a double boiler over medium heat. Add 1 cup of unsalted butter and 1 cup of unsweetened dark chocolate that's chopped into bits. Stir until the chocolate melts. Take it off the heat and let it cool down for a couple of minutes. When we get back, we're gonna finish up these brownies and talk about the evolutionary genesis of PMS. Sounds a bit nerdy, no?
Don't worry, you had him at brownies.
It's true. Open the shot like this. It's so grand. Nobody gets the brunt of PMS worse than boyfriends or husbands. And here's my theory. It's called stooping of the fittest. For a guy, PMS is like running an emotional gauntlet. She's mad, she's sad, she's coming at you saying things like, oh yeah, you made a romantic dinner? What about those felt protectors I asked you to get for the chairs, huh? Scratching the floors. That's romantic to you? Poor guys. But this gauntlet also happens to be at the peak of her fertility in her cycle. Ironic? I think not. I hypothesize that this obstacle course is there to ensure that only the sweetest boyfriends have a chance at procreating. The ones that can convince her to make out despite having forgotten the chair protectors in '94. Huh? Smart. Let's finish these brownies. To our melted chocolate and butter mixture, add 2 cups of brown sugar, 3 eggs, and whisk. Speaking of PMS, you know that eggs are actually chicken mince.
Enough.
Now, with a wooden spoon, fold in 1 cup of toasted chopped walnuts and 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Throw in a small pinch of sea salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon. Get it going. We're gonna make our goat cheese mixture. Here I got 1/2 cup of fresh goat cheese, add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and 1 egg. Yeah, just get it out of there, huh? Blend at low. I've lined the baking dish with parchment paper, and I'm gonna grease it with just a little bit of unsalted butter. While I finish this up, here's Hans. He's gonna give us some tips on how to alleviate PMS symptoms.
Miss G, no one wants to suffer through PMS. And as a nutritionist, / origami expert, / balloon fetish model, I can give all kinds of jibber jabber on how healthy fats like omega-3 and supplements, iron and vitamin D can alleviate symptoms. But honestly, I've dated enough women to know that none of it really works. The fact is, PMS is nature's way of keeping husbands and boyfriends in check. Basically, boys, anything you did wrong during the month, you'll hear about it that week. So maybe it's up to male partners to alleviate PMS by generally being nicer and more thoughtful all month long. Sorry, guys. It's 2 days before meltdown for me, so you're on your own.
Finally, some words of wisdom which we barely understood from Hans. Pour our brownie batter into our greased dish. Spread it around. Now pour spoonfuls of our goat cheese mixture on top. And use a knife to make a little pattern. Wouldn't want a psychologist analyzing this pattern, huh? Bake for 40 minutes at 325 degrees, or until a toothpick comes out clean. These are gonna be so good. We'll let them cool a bit. Oops. And then cut them into bitefuls of awesomeness. The gooey dark chocolate, it's not too sweet. Then you got the crunchy toasted walnuts, and this creamy tangy goat cheese is the perfect combination of sweet and savory. Today on Bitchin' Kitchen, we pummeled PMS with pineapple pork, Chicago mixed popcorn, and goat cheese brownies. Now, sure, it sucks to be hormonal and moody, but there is a positive side. See, 2 independent studies have shown that creative thinking and intelligence increases when estrogen levels are high at the beginning of our cycle. That's pretty cool, right? So think about that. Okay, you can stop thinking about it now. It's getting awkward. Alla prossima!